So we just received some gameplay news from 2K the other day, and it reads smoother, cleaner, and more responsive gameplay powered by ProPlay. And if you read into the gameplay courtside report, it's gonna go gameplay powered by ProPlay. Expands in NBA 2K26 on Gen 9 platforms with an all-new dynamic motion, enhanced rhythm shooting, and more. Now, if you go ahead and check out, this is one of the biggest talks and questions in the community for NBA 2K26, and this one comes from gameplay director Mike Wayne specifically. Question: will there be RNG in NBA 2K26? Answer: no. There will be no RNG shooting. There has always been some element of RNG in the past version of 2K, including NBA 2K24. NBA 2K26 will be the first version to feature a completely pure green window. On pro or lower difficulties, you can still make whites, but otherwise it's green or miss. And this is huge for the community because I know in NBA 2K25, man, for those of y'all who have made whites or had them made against you, they completely can change the impact of some games. So to see this change in NBA 2K26, and this is specifically the first question that Mike chose to answer, man. So we gotta be expecting something special from 2K themselves, especially with how shooting has been going. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today in this video, breaking down everything regarding the new shooting mechanics, all that good news that we got from Evan and Stacks. So before we move any further, I just want to say thank the Lord above, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity. God bless every single one of you. And I also do want to open up with a little scripture today. So for those of y'all who have been coming around, you already know what I'm about, but every single video, I'm going to open up with a scripture just to reconnect y'all with Christ. So this one is going to be coming out of the book of Acts 20, verse 28. Keep watch over yourselves and all the flock of which the Holy Spirit has made you overseers. Be shepherds of the church of God. And this is just a strong but powerful message that I want to put out to y'all to let you know, bro, that anybody that is a believer in your life, in Christ, watch over those people around you and watch over your community. And that's exactly what I'm doing with y'all, man. So I just want you to know that none of this, us growing, would be possible without number one, Jesus Christ, and of course, y'all the rich family. So if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you know. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. Now we will be getting into everything and the breakdown of the details when it comes towards enhanced rhythm shooting, rewarding skill-based gameplay, the new no-dip catch and shoots, and on top of that, bro, let's start out with the enhanced rhythm shooting. So watching so many of you discover and embrace the rhythm shooting mechanic to improve your shooting ability has been thrilling and rewarding. Seeing high-end competition has inspired us to push the envelope of rhythm shooting and bolster its strength. So think about that, man. Bolster its strength. Rhythm shooting was already pretty simple in NBA 2K25, especially if you started it out in the beginning of the year. They're telling me they're going to boost the strengths of it, man. Now, it goes on to read in NBA 2K26, rhythm shooting extends beyond mimicking each player's signature shooting animation to give you full control over every aspect of the shot. This shooting control method still relies on a down-up flick motion with the shot stick. But now, your shot timing and tempo will actually manipulate the shooter's upper body and impact how the shot looks throughout the complete motion by reflecting how you move the shot stick. Now that's very interesting, man, because what I feel like, bro, is they're really giving us more and more control each year of these players. And this specifically says it right there already, man, that the freedom of movement when it comes towards shooting, we're going to have that access now, man. Compared to previous 2Ks, you only had to flick up, down, or down, up, or even just, shoot with square. We're moving on from those days. So it also reads on, from the start, you'll notice and feel the difference between early, late, slow, and fast releases. If you flick up early and rush your shot, you can do quick releases. If you flick up late and slowly, you'll see the effect with a delayed pushing motion and a lazier release. This enhanced feature grants more freedom than ever before to decide what type of jump shot you want to take. Counter a closeout from a defender by initiating a quick release and intentionally rushing your shot, and still knock it down by executing excellent rhythm shooting tempo. Overall, players who take advantage of the rhythm shooting mechanic will experience more responsive and authentic jump shots that simulate a true shooting motion. Now that's a lot to unpack there, man, but to be honest with you, it does seem as though shooting is getting a buff, especially with all of the new mechanics that we're seeing. But the fact that rhythm shooting is enhanced, that means it's going to be better. If you liked it in I gotta be real, man, I'm excited, but if you liked it in NBA 2K25, you're gonna love it in NBA 2K26. Now, something else that I think is very interesting, green or miss shot timing. So green or miss shot timing will be universal in NBA 2K26, so that each mode has an even playing field. This means on higher difficulties, including most competitive multiplayer modes, only excellent timing green shots will go in. However, shot timing windows scale by difficulty and will be less forgiving in competitive modes like Proving Grounds and Pro-Am, but more forgiving in team control modes like MYTEAM, where you have to adapt to different shot animations. Now, even playing field, man, think about it. I don't think there's going to be anybody come NBA 2K26 that is at a major advantage or disadvantage, especially with all these new mechanics. I think they're giving the players more access to actually become better players, and I'm all for that, man, especially as this community that we are. You got to go ahead and push for what the community needs, and that's something that I think is definitely valid. Now, in addition, layup timing is permanently enabled to separate skilled finishers and make those highly contested finishes at the rim even more spectacular and impressive. Ultimately, we wanted to emphasize skill-based competitive gameplay where your actions on the sticks provide more control of the outcomes you see in game. This renewed focus will be felt across multiple gameplay areas, from shot outcomes to successful blocks and steals and loose balls and rebounds. Very exciting, man. I'll be real with y'all. For those of you who don't know, you actually kind of have to time your rebounds now, just kind of like you would do a jump shot, but a little bit different. I'm pretty sure it's going to be easier. But the fact that we're getting some talk about finishing, that layup timing is permanent, and we'll get into finishing in another video. Specifically today, we are talking about shooting here, but it seems as though they're trying to add a skill gap in each and every little area that they can. Whether it's for slashers, having to press a random button when going up for an alley-oop, or even timing your rebounds. That's something that I think we did definitely need to cater to more of that skilled gameplay and just more of the comp community as well, man. And I also do love the fact that they are, still looking out for the casual players who necessarily don't want to be tryhards. They're implementing everything that they possibly can to even the playing field. Now, onto no dip catch and shoots. Hold the left trigger when receiving a pass while standing still to square up. Catch the ball high and seamlessly transition directly into your shooting motion in rhythm to get the shot up quickly. Knock down shots like Klay Thompson and Ray Allen as defenders race to close out before your release. Now, this is another thing that they're adding in, bro. Think of it. A new way to shoot and faster. For those of y'all who are spot ups, I think this is going to be perfect for isolation players. The more, the better shooting can be. I think for those playmakers, the isolation players, they're going to love this one, man. Now, this is actually a part of the NBA 2K26 Creator Challenge. So, pretty much, if we reach 2,026 videos, and we put the hashtag NBA 2K Challenge in the video, in the title description, we'll go ahead and reach a community goal to unlock a backpack in NBA 2K26, a special locker code, and 26 winners will be drawn in September to unlock 1 million VC. Now, that's a huge W, and I think this is just something special that 2K did add to get the community, pumped, lifted, and really allow us to get something to look forward to, bro. Think about it. At the end of this month, it's August 1st today, we will be playing NBA 2K26, man. Just think about that. Now, the new enhanced rhythm shooting. We got true shot motion and skill-based gameplay. We also did get go-to signature post shots, but we're going to get into that in another video. Now, with the enhanced rhythm shooting, we pretty much already went over this. Is something that I think is very special and that's slept on, is that players are finally getting the full control to really choose how and when we want to shoot. As, for example, a player like Kobe. If you watch Kobe back in the day, whenever you saw him pump fake, you know how a defender would close out on him, but they're still trying to guard him? And somehow, he's able to adjust his movement, and he's still able to knock down some of the toughest shots. I think that's what we're talking about and getting at when you talk about the enhanced rhythm shooting. Now, on top of that, rewarding skill-based gameplay, green or miss shot timing, that's probably the number one thing that I've heard this year that a lot of the community is actually fiending for, bro. They want this. They do not want whites to be in NBA 2K26, and this shows it right here that 2K is delivering as they should. The no dip, catch, and shoots. Now, man, think about it. A faster way to shoot. That means potentially, if you can shoot with, like, let's say, a 60 to a 73 ball, if you put the rest of your attributes into the defensive end and finishing, maybe even playmaking, you're going to be able to make some really tough lockdown builds, and I'll be real, man, they may even be unstoppable. And just to get a little bit into the Pro Play motion engine, so Pro Play powers all new dynamic motion in NBA 2K26, generated from real-world NBA footage that influences all on-court movement, offense, defense, and off-ball. This new motion engine is the biggest change to player movement since NBA 2K21 and further advances to the one-on-one realism in gameplay, which took a giant leap forward with the dribble engine introduced in NBA 2K25. New machine learning technology in NBA 2K26 on Gen 9 offers more precise, lifelike movement, which is noticeable in the most fundamental elements of the game. Dynamic lower body pose matching adjustments to the exact positioning of players' legs and feet on the fly to remove the skating seen in past games and ensure that players launch, plant, and cut realistically. For my dribblers out there, for my defenders out there, that's a W, man. No more skating, no more sliding. If we can see that in NBA 2K26 and more realistic movement, man, I gotta be real, we're in store for a good year, bro. There's no other way to put it. And it goes on to read, together, these systems work in harmony to not only make motion look better than ever before, but also leads to improvements across all areas of gameplay to create a fresh and authentic feeling when playing so you can compete at the highest level. Now, man, to be real with y'all, I am very excited based off what I heard regarding just shooting today. You know, you got everything from full control of your jump shots. On top of that, bro, green or miss, skilled gameplay. It seems as though 2K is done away with the casual gameplay and moving more towards something that can be considered a competitive game, man. And I think that's what we've been wanting for. As fans and players and creators of 2K, this has definitely got to be something that I'm happy about, man. Now I'm going to get into the community questions answered directly from gameplay director Mike Wayne, also known as Baluba. So question, are there instant greens in NBA 2K26? This year, we made the jump shot sellies, and that's celebrations and shot feedback dynamic based on the quality of the shot. It factors in the shooter's ratings, defensive coverage, and shot timing or tempo for rhythm shots. So if you have an excellent release on a wide open shot with a good shooter, you'll get an instant green. And Wavy went ahead and replied, I'm assuming this applies to all shots feedback too, and not just simple. Mike replied, yes, simple and all shots feedback show up at the same time. Very, very interesting, man. You know, I'm happy that instant greens are back. I hope y'all are too. This is something that it's just more satisfying seeing and knowing that you green your shot instantly. Now, are there different shot meter options? Answer. All of the shot meter options from NBA 2K24 and NBA 2K25 are available to choose from this year, including the new default meter you saw in the courtside report video. Vapor went ahead and tweeted, will they have green windows added to the olds? All meters will show the green window except for the dial, arrow, and ring options from NBA 2K25. So they're giving us the freedom. They're pretty much, you know, baby feeding us everything that it seems the community wants. Now, 2 years ago, Batchplug put out a tweet. Does shooting have a pure green window in NBA 2K24 like it did in 2K19? If you had a certain rating plus jump shot, timing the shot meant it would always green if open. Mike Wang answered, yes, the green window is pure and will be guaranteed to make if you hit it. Now look at this. He had a quote coming from Yali. He said, can we get an explanation on the difference then and now? And pretty much Mike said, The center of the green windows in 2K19 and 24 were pure, but we used RNG on the edges that lerped from 100 to 0% for NBA 2K26. If you're released anywhere inside the window, it will be a make. So there you go. There you have your answer. RNG is officially out. And also on top of that, for my shooters out there, man, y'all are going to love that. Now, getting into the next question, are there any changes to the contest system? I definitely hope that height plays a factor, but especially perimeter defense rating. So he went ahead and put, there have been a number of changes to the contest system. We've rebalanced the effectiveness of hands up, no jump contests, and jumping contests to better reflect how shots are impacted in real life. We're also showing coverage percentages in full shot feedback again. That's something that I really did miss, and the fact that we're getting percentages back, I gotta say, it's a W for us as a community. This is something that I cannot go against. Now, another question, is there still a high/low risk reward setting? No. Shot and layup timing risk reward settings have been removed. Everyone will play on the same playing field in NBA 2K26. So, this only goes to make me think that maybe SBMM, certain matchmaking that we had last year, is not back in NBA 2K26 to where you're always playing players at the caliber of your own level. And I think if we see that, man, this is going to be amazing, bro. To see the fact that 2K is really allowing the community to decide how the course of the game is going to go throughout the year. That's exactly what we want as players. Now, I got a few more questions to open up with y'all, and this one's going to be coming from PowerDF. He put, what everyone's wondering, has anything been done about L2 cheesing in NBA 2K26? What Mike said, we made the ball extremely vulnerable to steals when posting up far from the rim to mitigate the L2 cheese. And he also even put this in an actual Q&A. So I gotta say, man, if I'm being real with y'all, I really think that L2 cheese will still be in NBA 2K26, but it will not be as effective. The actual answer goes on, we've made efforts to reduce the unrealistic motions/cuts that can result from dexing. Attempting to use dexing to cut back and forth repeatedly will consume adrenaline. And you know, I think they hit it right on the nail with this one. That's exactly what we needed. And I'm super happy to see this change, man. Now, can anyone do a quick catch and shoot, or does it have to have attribute/badge requirements? Anyone can perform the quick catch and shoot mechanic. There are no restrictions. So think about it, man. If you can shoot with a lower 3-point rating, you are going to be a deadly shooter if you learn how to shoot with a quick catch and shoot release. And I'm just saying, man, we've gotten so much information on the game as a whole. I want to break everything down for y'all in these next few days. So be sure to turn on post notifications and stay tuned. And coming from Splash Edition, he tweeted out, can you do the no dip on moving catch and shoot as well? Or do you have to come to a full stop to initiate the dip? Just stand still, catch and shoot. Now, this fully doesn't answer it, but I got to go ahead and say, I think potentially we will be able to do what Splash is asking to do, also the no dip moving catch and shoots. Now, how does rhythm shooting and button shooting compare? The goal was to make both rhythm and button shooting viable options, with neither having an advantage over the other. But they are very different mechanics, so it's not really possible to directly compare them. Some will be much better with the button, and some will be much better with the stick. Rhythm shooting is definitely more rewarding in my opinion though. Smiley face. Now, another tweet comes from PowerDF. He says, just trying to better understand this. If neither method has an advantage, how is rhythm shooting definitely more rewarding? Does rhythm shooting get any kind of physical boost or in-game benefit, or is it subjective to a feel thing? And he went ahead and also had a follow-up tweet. My guess, with everything I've read in his responses, only advantage rhythm shooting would have now, ability to speed up jumper through the stick-based situations. And Mike also followed up, it's also really helpful if you have bad internet and unpredictable latency. Now that's huge, man, because I know some of y'all would really want to not have, different types of shooting functions in NBA 2K26, and I definitely understand, especially the fact that you can't compare either of them. Why would you put either one in the game? I think as players, yes, we need to have more control and freedom of our, how we play, But the fact that if one of these is more overpowered than the other, it's completely going to change the balance of the game itself, man. Now I got a few more for y'all, so can you explain how the rhythm shooting works? Can I still green a shot with early or late timing? And he answers, rhythm shooting is basically all about mastering your shot's unique tempo. There's still an ideal timing point for when to push the pro stick, but you don't have to green the timing to make the shot. However, the better you time the release, the more wiggle room you have to match the tempo. The timing of the right stick movement and the speed of the stick throw will also affect how the animation plays out. So if you start to push early or throw the stick fast, you'll see the shooter rush the animation. If you delay your push, you'll see the player hold the set point and hang a bit before starting the shooting motion. And if you throw the stick too slowly, you'll see a lazier look follow through. It's great if you need to intentionally rush your shot to beat a closeout or a low shot clock, but green tempo window will be much smaller. Be Like Guy went ahead and said, does this work in the same way for pull-up jump shots or leaners? So I can basically initiate a pull-up, have a defender jump, hang, and release on the way down pretty much. Mike says yes, but the longer you hang, the more precise you have to be with your tempo to make that shot. And we put a ceiling on how long you can hold the set point before shooting motion automatically starts for visual reasons. Now that makes a whole lot of sense. Again, I love the fact that we're able to get more freedom, especially when it comes towards shooting. Now another tweet coming from Hezzy2K. Can you only no-dip shots with rhythm shooting, or can you do it with button also? Mike Wang did confirm both. And the final thing that I do want to get into, this tweet comes from Mike Wang about maybe 3 years ago. He said, this is really what it all boils down to. If anyone has ideas for a better option than these two, I'd love to hear them. Number 1, keep pure green windows. No RNG, which means for the sake of balance, the windows need to be pretty small like they are now. Keep in mind, this was years ago, so that good players don't shoot 80 to 90% from 3-point. This makes shooting very difficult for casual players and what we're dealing with now. Or option number 2, go back to bigger green windows that are easier for most people to hit, but cap the excellent timing boost. Reintroduce RNG to keep the game balanced. This is how 2K shooting has basically worked for the past 20 years. Now look, option number 2, that's what we had in NBA 2K24. I'm sorry, NBA 2K25. Option number 1, we have had this in NBA 2K24, and we're also getting it back in NBA 2K26. Now my question to y'all, which of these options do you prefer to play with? Number 1 or number 2? For me personally, it does not matter, but I really want to know your opinion as a community. And I just want you to know that I appreciate y'all. For those of you who made it to the very end, that is pretty much all of the news that I got for y'all today on shooting. And I promise you, this is really just the beginning of where we're going. So I really want you to know that I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. God bless every single one of you. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you know. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And last but definitely not least, with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.